Have you ever felt like something inside you swallowed your own light? Like you used to shine so bright, but now everything feels dark and heavy, and you can't remember the last time you smiled for real. That's how it once was for a young girl named Luna. And long before her, it was how a creature named Bakunawa lost herself to darkness too. This is their story. And maybe it's your story. Too, they say that in the beginning, the sky had 7 moons, 7 beautiful, glowing orbs that lit up the world like pearls. In the night, they floated high above the islands of the Philippines, casting silver light across the seas, the mountains, and the villages below. Every creature loved their glow, every creature except the one who lived in the depths. Deep in the dark ocean, there lived a great serpent named Bakunawa. Her body was as long as a mountain range. Her scales shimmered like wet silver, and her eyes glowed with sadness. Every night, she would rise from the sea and stare at the moons above her. Their light touched her face and filled her heart with longing. She wanted to be part of that beauty. She wanted to hold it, to feel it, to never lose it. But as she watched the moons night after night, her longing turned into hunger. One night, Bakunawa could not hold herself back any longer. She swam upward, breaking through the waves, stretching her jaws wide, and with one mighty gulp she swallowed the first moon. The world grew dimmer. People gasped and prayed, but before they could even understand what happened, Bakunawa returned and swallowed another. Then, another 6 moons disappeared, one after another, until only one was left. The last moon hid behind the clouds. Trembling, the people cried out to Bathala, the great creator, for help. Bathala took pity on them and hid the last moon high beyond Bakunawa's reach. But the serpent was heartbroken. The light she had swallowed only made her feel emptier. Her hunger grew, not for light, but for something she could never name, something she could never fill. Even now, when loneliness overcomes her, she rises again from the sea and tries to eat the last moon. That's what people say happens during an eclipse. When the moon fades, they say it's Bakunawa trying to steal it again. That's why the old ones would bang pots, drums, and pans to scare her away. And when the noise filled the air, the moon would come back, shining even brighter than before. Many generations later, in a small village by the shore, there lived a girl named Luna. She loved painting the moon. Every full moon, she would sit outside her small house with her paintbrush and a little oil lamp, sketching its glow across the dark sky. Her grandmother always told her, Enoch, when the moon disappears, don't be afraid. It's only Bakunawa. Make noise. Let her know you're not afraid of the dark. Luna would giggle, bang her spoon on a metal bowl, and shout, go away, but those were the happiest days of her childhood, filled with laughter, paint, and dreams. She wanted to be an artist one day, to fill the world with color and light, just like the moon did. But as Luna grew older, things changed. Her father lost his job. Her mother got sick. Bills piled up. Her paints dried out. The colors that once filled her life began to fade. She stopped painting. She stopped laughing. Every night she sat by the sea, staring at the waves, wondering where her light had gone. One night, the moon began to disappear. The sky turned red, then dark. People shouted from their homes. It's Buck. Some children banged pots and pans, laughing nervously. But Luna didn't move. She just watched the fading moon and whispered, maybe she should take it. Maybe the world doesn't need light anymore. The waves were quiet. The air was cold. For a moment, Luna felt like she and Bakunawa were the same, both empty, both reaching for something they could never have. She closed her eyes and felt tears roll down her cheeks. Then she heard a voice in her memory, her grandmother's voice, soft but strong. When darkness comes, Enoch, don't be afraid to make noise. Even the smallest sound can bring the light back. Luna opened her eyes. She looked around. Beside her was an old, rusty tin can. She picked it up and hit it once with a stone. The sound was weak, almost lost to the wind. She hit it again, then again, louder. The rhythm echoed through the night, slow at first, then faster. Her heart began to beat with it. Thump, thump. Somewhere in the sky, the moon started to glow again. The villagers joined in. One by one, people came out of their homes, banging pots, plates, and cans. Children laughed, dogs barked. The sound filled the night like a storm of hope, and above them, the moon reappeared full and bright. Bakunawa sank back into the deep sea, defeated by the sound of people who refused to lose their light. Luna smiled through her tears. She felt something inside her shift, like a small spark coming back to life. The darkness that had lived in her heart didn't vanish completely, but for the first time in a long time, she didn't feel afraid of it anymore. Siwantom pulled out her old paintbrush and started painting again. Her hands were shaky, but she didn't stop. On the canvas, she painted Bakunawa and the moon together in the same sky. The serpent wasn't a monster in her painting. She looked sad, almost human, as if se va senti, trying to destroy the moon, but to touch it, to feel its warmth. Luna realized that maybe Bakunawa wasn't evil at all. Maybe she was just lonely. Maybe she was a reminder that everyone has darkness inside them, but it doesn't mean we have to let it win. Days turned into weeks, and Luna kept painting. Each night, she looked up at the moon and smiled. Whenever it disappeared during an eclipse, she no longer felt afraid. She would walk to the beach, pick up her tin can, and beat it proudly. Sometimes she painted during eclipses too, using only the faint red glow of the moonlight. People began to notice her art. Some said her paintings carried a strange magic, like you could feel both sadness and hope at the same time. She started teaching children how to paint. She told them the story of Bakunawa, but in her version, the serpent wasn't the villain. She told them Bakunawa just wanted to be part of the light, the same way we all want to be seen, loved, and understood. One evening, as the sun was setting, a little boy asked, "Teacher Luna, what if Bakunawa comes back again?" Luna smiled and said, "Then we'll make noise again, because darkness never wins if you keep fighting." The children laughed and started banging on their paint cans. The sound echoed across the beach, just as the first star appeared in the sky. And far out in the ocean, where the waves met the horizon, Luna thought she saw something move a shimmer beneath the water, like scales catching the last light of the sun. She smiled. Maybe Bakunawa was listening too. Maybe she understood that she didn't have to eat the moon to feel its warmth. She could just let it shine. As the years went by, Luna's paintings spread across the islands. People began to see Bakunawa differently, not as a monster, but as a symbol of what it means to fall, to hunger, to lose yourself, and still find your way back to the light. Her story reminded everyone that the moon's light doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from surviving the darkness. One night, Luna stood on the same shore where it all began. She was older now, her hair streaked with silver like moonlight. The waves touched her feet, and the moon hung bright above her. She whispered softly, "Thank you, Bakunawa. You taught me that light is something we protect, not something we wait for." The sea was calm. The stars sparkled like the lost moons had returned. Luna picked up her tin can one last time and tapped it gently, smiling as the sound faded into the night. She turned and walked home, her heart glowing brighter than any moon. So the next time the moon disappears and the world feels dark, remember this story. Remember Luna, the girl who fought her own darkness. Remember Bakunawa, the serpent who taught her what hunger and hope really mean. And remember, your light is never gone. It's just waiting for you to make some noise. No matter how deep the darkness feels, the moon will always come back, and so will you.